Hello everyone and welcome back, and technically this is going to be part 2 of the video we released 2 days ago at this point. So that first video, we actually had it in 2 parts. This was the second part of the video that we decided just to make its own video, so we don't really have an intro, so that's kind of what we're doing right now.
Yes.
But we are recording this on Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to everyone.
We ate the best food we've ever eaten today.
Party it too. That's all I gotta say. So happy Thanksgiving. So what we're going to do in this video is we're just going to talk about a kind of a part of Beth's book. And I guess I want to preface it also with, it's a little bit of a spoiler. So if you don't want to know what happens in the book, this maybe spoiler warning about.
Yeah, but it's just a small snippet.
Yeah. Also, I will say there was a Champions League game today. It was Arsenal versus Juventus, and it ended up a draw. But Viv scored, and she hadn't scored in 6 games. And she, everything that happened with Beth, we're going to do another video about Beth and her injury at some point. But, Viv is probably very upset what happened to Beth as a teammate and as a partner. But some people think after Viv scored, you can see her go to Katie McCabe. Some people think that she said, "This is for Beth." I am one of those people who think she did say that, but
no, I don't think that's what
you don't think she said that. Okay.
No.
I'm team yes. I think she said for Beth in your team.
Your team, you want it to be. True.
Maybe. So I was excited to see Viv score because she hadn't scored in 6 games, and I think it's good for her morale even, and for the team for her to score. So that was today. And yeah, so that's going to be the video. We're going to talk about the little snippet from Beth's book, but like always, timestamps down below. So we're going to start the video off kind of like it's already halfway through. So if that makes any sense.
You in the past or the future? The past.
I like that.
Our future selves are talking to our past selves.
I like it.
Wow.
I like it. Here we go. So moving on to what we kind of originally were just going to talk about. As everyone knows, Beth Mead's book,
Lioness, My Journey to Glory,
has just been released, and Sara and I are the proud new owners of a digital copy of this book.
We're proud moms of this book now.
So we have officially purchased the book. We got ours on Amazon, and I will say, I did not realize this, but if you buy it off, if you buy an ebook, you can kind of search whatever you want to search in the book, and so if you want to find
do that in real life,
you can't. So I was looking. So if someone's a big Leah Williamson fan and a Beth fan, and they want to see it every single time Beth talked about Leah Williamson, they just type in Leah into the little search bar.
It's like cross-referencing.
And it goes through the whole book. It says how many times she talked about her, or if they want to know about Viv, which was what I did. So I did not know you could do that on ebooks, but you can. So
technology. It's so hot.
So yeah, I have not read the book in full. What I did do, I kind of did the thing I'm just talking about. I kind of looked for the Viv parts because who wouldn't?
You skip to the juicy parts.
I did. And we're going to talk about one part. And I think what we're going to do with this, we're going to kind of make this a series. We're going to read one of the reviews that were on Amazon.
Shout out to this person who did the review. A rare look into the life of a player still at the height of their footballing career. Packed full of raw and honest detail, Beth takes you on her journey from childhood to winning the European Championship. It feels a bit like you're sat having a cup of tea with Beth while she lets you into intimate details about her professional and personal life, the obstacles she's overcome, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. By the end of the book, it's clear that Beth is very much the loud, funny, extroverted person adored by fans, but she is also so much more.
Yeah, in this book,
Well said.
I read a lot of it, didn't read it cover to cover, but she really gets in depth about what was going on, her feelings from when she played, from when she was a kid to Sunderland to Arsenal to everything. And she talks, like the person said, intimate details. I mean, intimate. She doesn't go too far, but she gets pretty intimate.
That's what we love here.
And I kind of read some fans' point of view, and some were like, "Well, this is kind of like a fanfic."
That's hot.
This is kind of juicy, but I think it also is. It's kind of like the first of its kind in the sense of she's still an active player talking about these things.
Yeah, trailblazer.
She talks about her 3 relationships, and we're gonna kind of talk about. I just want to talk about this moment because this magic moment, basically,
I love that song.
She talks about realizing when she thinks that she's attracted to women. She talks about her first girlfriend, which she names in this book. She talks about a lot of things. So definitely, if you're on the fence of this book, definitely get it, because
I thought you were going to say if you're on the fence of being gay, just read this book.
no,
I'm into that.
We're going to kind of read a little excerpt from this book because you got to get it. And this is the kind of stuff you'll be looking forward to.
Over the winter break, I had reached out to Viv to make sure she was okay. She had just broken up with her partner. Having just been through that, I wanted to be there for her and keep an eye on her. I let her know that I was there for whatever she needed. If you told us then that we'd get together in the next year, we'd have laughed. But we continued to grow closer. I enjoyed the new, more sociable Viv. It was as if I was seeing her for the first time. Our time together felt deeper, more meaningful than everything we'd shared in all those years before. We bounced off each other effortlessly and connected on a new level. In the spring, we had our first kiss. I was dropping Viv back at her house and turned off the engine to say goodbye. As she unbuckled her seatbelt, she turned to me, and it happened. It wasn't planned, and I was more than a little nervous. We were both still trying to process the fact that we felt that way about each other, considering how long we'd been teammates. But it felt right. We both laughed, then Viv got out of the car and went home. It was the classic movie cliche.
And I mean,
I'm swooning.
Yes, I mean, reading that, I mean, she kind of just lays it out there.
That's a play-by-play.
I love kind of where it first talks about over winter break. I had reached out to Viv to make sure she was okay because, you know, it says here, Viv had just broken up with her partner. Beth just broke up with her partner. And that's kind of what we talked about in our videos. You just break up with someone, you know what each other's going through. We have talked about that a lot.
And you bond over that.
And then kind of talking about, I didn't know Viv for 5 years. And then after that, we got to know each other.
Now they really know each other.
And they really liked each other. And they, as they grew closer, you know, and also getting to know a new Viv. We might get into it in another video, but she talks about Viv becoming more open with the team.
This scene actually reminds me of it in the L Word.
Oh, yeah.
With, I think it was Bette was in a car with her student, which is actually she's in the car with Jessica Capshaw, who's also Arizona from Grey's Anatomy. So Jessica Capshaw's character, and then she infamously someone takes off their seatbelt and it gets steamy in there.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that, not even kidding.
Right from the L Word. And so
I'm sure it was not so steamy, but
it's like a movie. I mean, she lays it out. She undoes her seatbelt. Viv goes in for the kiss.
It happened.
I mean,
so dramatic.
And it's like, I know I guess that's part of it. You're supposed to have a mental image, but that, you know, that's kind of the fun of it. When you read this book, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Kind of like that fanfic element, or that kind of like juicy element that, and I think when Beth was writing this book, she goes, as long as she had Viv's permission to share that, which it seems like she did,
right?
Why not go for it? They both wanted it out there. They both wanted people to know, you know, and I love that she just went for it.
Love it.
Yeah. And that was one of the more steamy parts of the book. I want this to encourage people to buy, if you can buy the book, to encourage people to buy the book. You know what I mean? Because I did the thing where I put the name Viv or Viviana, and I think there was like 86 mentions of Viv or Viviana in the book, or like 100, a lot. And obviously she talks about her as a teammate, but she also talks about her as her partner, you know.
Beautiful relationship.
But that was just one moment. It could be like so relatable too for a lot of people, you know what I mean? When your crush or your partner, you have your first kiss or whatnot, and, you know, famous footballers, they're just like us. I mean, for them to go from barely friends, and I don't mean barely, but didn't really know each other for 5 years, to what kind of transpired, that's a weird mental thing that does to your head too. Like, wait a second, how did we get to this place? Like they even said in the book, they would have never known that they were going to be in this place, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was one of the best parts of the book. And we're going to talk about a couple more parts of the book, but that's one of the parts of the book that, I mean, this is why you want to pick up this book / why Beth wanted to write this book.
It's hot and juicy.
You just hear about her inner thoughts at the moment. So what did everyone think about that excerpt from the book? Amazing.
She should write fan fiction.
Yeah. What did everyone think? So far, who has the book? You know, has anything in the book surprised you? What do we think?
Definitely a dog ear in this one. Put a bookmark here. Give me a bedtime story. This one would be the one.
Yes. This is a good book club book. You know they have book clubs all around Oprah's book club and books.
Sarah's book club. Oh.
Questions, comments down below. What does everyone think? We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night.
Stay steamy.